You've been wonderful all through the year. And this is from us, Voice of the People Television, saying Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you all. See you at the top.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to Political Lens on Voice of the People Television. I am Chukwuma Okoro. We are broadcasting on Metro SLTV channel 264 on YouTube and other social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. You can also be a part of this conversation by calling in or sending WhatsApp messages to the number scrolling on your screen. On the show today, federal government declares bandits, kidnappers as terrorists. That's Cherry News. As U.S. recalls ambassador to Nigeria and Tinubu is pleased with your leadership, that is Ribadu, to Fubara when he led a delegation of the federal government of Nigeria to meet with the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara. Now, let's bring in our guests. We've been joined by, virtually though, by Barrister Asim Adams. He's a constitutional lawyer and political affairs analyst. Good evening to you, Barrister Adams, and thanks for being part of Political Lens.
Good evening, Mr. Okoro. Good evening. How are you doing?
All right, good to have you. So
good evening.
Appreciate your presence.
Yes, all right.
Okay, now let's kick into it right away. The federal government has officially designated kidnappers and violent armed groups as terrorists, making a major escalation in Nigeria's fight against abductions, attacks on farmers, and rural violence. Well, the announcement was made by the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, during an end-of-year press briefing in Abuja, signaling a shift from treating such crimes as ordinary offenses to full counter-terrorism operations. Idris said the new classification ends with what he describes as ambiguous nomenclature, stressing that any individual or group that terrorizes communities will now be treated as terrorists. This move is expected to strengthen intelligence sharing and interagency cooperation and coordination, enabling faster and more decisive security responses nationwide. He also announced the deployment of trained forest guards to secure forests and remote areas used as criminal hideouts, combining surveillance, local intelligence, and rapid response capabilities. Idris cited recent successes from improved coordination, including the arrest of top Islamic State West Africa, that's ISWAP leader in Nigeria, some of whom were among Africa's most wanted terrorists and are currently facing trial. Barrister Adams, from the legal perspective, what's the meaning of designating bandits and kidnappers as terrorists? I would like for you to interrogate this within the context of the Nigerian Terrorism Act. Often, these people have been branded terrorists, not terrorists, but kidnappers and bandits and mere criminals. But now, the federal government has decided, in their wisdom, to designate them as terrorists. So what is the implication of all of this? This redesignation within the context of the Nigerian Terrorism Act? Hello, Mr. Adams, can you hear me, sir?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. The point is all about semantics. It's about the use of the words. For us, it's a thin line, a very thin line, and for the purpose of the laws, that is why they do classifications. Otherwise, they are all of the same category. Now, let me start with who is a terrorist. A terrorist is somebody that wants to bring fear, like the word terror, goes. He wants to terrorize a particular entity. He wants to terrorize a particular nation, because of religious, ethnic, political, gains. The terrorist is not 100% out, to get a war.
Yeah. What the barrister is saying. Well, the tech team is trying to fix all of that, but while they do that, let's go for a quick break. I'll be right back. Please do stay with us and join us again.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations, shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
It's a season of love, a season of joy, a season to celebrate you because you deserve it. From all of us at Voice of the People TV, we only want to wish you a very merry, happy Christmas and a prosperous new year ahead.
We are here with the leadership of VOP Television Lagos. We do appreciate this opportunity to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to our viewers all over the world and admirers. Cheers.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Nàìjíríà lókè òkun, mò ń kí yín fún Kérésìmesì ọdún yìí á yabo fún wa o. Gbogbo àlàrí bá ti ṣe táàárọ̀ náà gbégbá o. I wish my fans all over the world, in Europe, America, Australia, everywhere, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Catch ya next year.
As the year comes to an end, we want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your hard work, dedication, and the positive vibe you bring to Voice of the People every day. From all of us on the HR, we would like to say Merry Christmas, a happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year. Thank you.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
This is to wish you a wonderful, spirit-filled and Merry Christmas from Matthew Ogunswada.
This year has been so amazing with you in it. And that's why we're saying from Voice of the People TV, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we love you.
You've been wonderful all through the year. And this is from us, Voice of the People Television, saying Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you all. See you at the top.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I'll be like, well, this TV station will go places. Voice of the People TV.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations, shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Mr. Ofamiloni, and here is to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come there. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Ampeon. Join us every week.
Hello there, welcome back, and we sincerely apologize for that short break in transmission. It was due to a network glitch. Mr. Adams, good to have you back on the beat.
Yes, good day, Mr. Okoro. Not that we're having a...
Yes, the network is a bit floppy, and so I was not getting your audio feed, but I can hear you loud and clear now. So I'd like for you to land on your thoughts, sir.
Yes, what I was trying to explain. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, what I was trying to explain, because it's like we're having this issue of network here. What I was trying to explain is that it's all about semantics, in my own opinion. The three of them, the three categories of crime are heinous. Or any criminal that participates in any of these three should be treated the same way the others are treated. For instance, a terrorist, by mere definition, is he who is bringing a particular entity to or attacks to create fear. From the word terror, he's terrorizing an environment, an entity, because he wants his voice to be heard. They are not necessarily there for financial gains. They are not necessarily there for immediate financial rewards. But because they want their voices to be heard, either their religious voices, tribal or ethnic voices, etc., as the case may be. So the person goes out to bring to awe a particular entity in order to get an identity for himself and his own religious affiliation or tribal affiliation. A kidnapper is he who takes, like the word is, kidnap. There are those who can kidnap a lady just for sex and keep the woman in the hotel, keep in the forest, and begin to maybe rape, etc., as the case may be. Then you now have kidnapping for ransom. There are those who kidnap for ransom. Those two categories now, they are there for their own personal gains, and the last one for financial and pecuniary interests. So that is the situation. But in my own opinion, these are heinous crimes. A kidnapper, a terrorist, a bandit, they should all be classified, into one particular, module or cubicle. That is just my own.
Okay.
Bearing the dispensations.
All right. Now, Barrister Adam, that is your opinion, but I would like for us to review it within the context of consequences. The consequences of one being an armed robber who is caught, in the process of stealing, and one who is a terror kingpin or a terrorist. What are the differences? I like the average Nigerian to understand, because there must be some kind of level of consequences based on these classifications. For an ordinary criminal, if you are talking about ordinary law and enforcement, who to simply require a police action. But when we graduate to terror, it now requires the involvement of the military and all of that, as we have seen over the period. So I would like for us to understand what are the different consequences that has made it necessary for the federal government to say, look, these people are no longer ordinary criminals. They are now terrorists. What does the Terrorism Act prescribe? What are the consequences for one being classified as a terrorist? That's what I want us to understand.
Under our laws, we have a felony, like for instance, kidnapping, armed robbery. Those are felonious offenses. And those were the things that we had in our lexicon, legal lexicon in those days. The issue of terrorists and terrorism, we heard about terrorism, outside of Nigeria in those days. But it crept into Nigeria just about a decade or maybe a decade and a half ago. So the law is that, for instance, armed robbery, during the military regime, it was death penalty. And also, during the civilian regime also, death penalty for armed robbery, which means in the civilian regime, you may not be executed. It's death by hanging. Whereas in the military regime, it is death by firing squad. As if those are just the little differences. Now, for terrorists, the Terrorism Act that was amended, the first guilty that is under the new act as amended now. So a thin thread, like I said, cut across these three. And I wonder why the Nigerian, government, why it took it so long a time to now make terrorism, or kidnapping, or even banditry, give it the maximum punishment of death penalty. I don't care, the differentiation. It's difficult for you to explain or to define a kidnapper for ransom and a terrorist who is terrorizing an entity, who is terrorizing a geographical entity as case may be. It's a thin line. The two categories I've mentioned, they all bring fear and awe. They bring the people to awe. When the name of a kidnapper is mentioned, people run helter-skelter. If you hear the name of a bandit, people run helter-skelter for fear of their lives. If you hear the name of a terrorist, people run helter-skelter for fear of their lives. So, in my own opinion, there is no under the law there shouldn't be any differentiation.
Okay.
It's very difficult for you to define each and every one of these without being linking the three together. It's a thin thread that cuts across. So it's a big surprise to me that the Nigerian government, it's now that they are waking up from their slumber to now say that kidnapping and banditry, will now carry the maximum, penalty of death, by hanging or death by firing.
All right. Okay. Now, Barrister, you have raised a few talking points that we need to untie here. Like, if you talk about, making it a law. Now, I understand that some states in Nigeria have already said, look, they have made laws against kidnapping, and they say when a kidnapper is arrested, court arrested and prosecuted, there is death penalty. The sentence is death penalty. Now, is it possible that the federal government will now codify it into our national law, that is laws of the federation, for it to become effective nationwide? Is there a possibility that that could happen?
That is what we are going to now.
Okay.
So, because the Terrorism Act has amended, has now made it a death, has made it a death penalty, for anybody. So they've been brought under the cubicle, of terrorists. That is what the government is now saying, that if you are caught as a kidnapper and you say, oh, I only came here to kidnap, and you are caught as a bandit, and you say, oh, I was not there with bombs, but I only came to see if I can create problem in an environment, etc., and take some school children out of whatever the case may be, you are now considered a terrorist, which means there is no hiding place for you, which means there is no levity for you under the law. The punitive law there is that death is what you will get if you are found guilty. So the federal government at this point in time, have to codify.
Okay.
They have to, make laws now, the federal law, so that it will now rhyme and synchronize with that of the state. And once the federal law is now codified, the state laws now take a second or a background, seat, as the case may be.
Okay, so by implication, whether state A or state B has made a law at the National Assembly level, criminalizing kidnapping and the death sentence, the moment it is codified into the laws of the Federation, it takes effect nationwide.
Absolutely, that is what it means now. Yes,
Okay.
that is what it means.
All right, now, if you describe this classification as mere semantics, what difference do you think it will make, in the war on terror in Nigeria? If you say it is mere semantics, does it look like it's going to be business as usual?
You see, it ought not to be business as usual. But from the way I've seen this government act, it is going to be business as usual. I keep saying this, that the laws are there, but the implementation and execution of those laws, has been the problem, for Nigeria. Now, if you arrest a man who is a kidnapper, a known kidnapper, a known bandit, a known terrorist, then government will come from nowhere and say they want to rehabilitate him because he has confessed his sins. He has confessed to killing people. We want to de-radicalize him. At the end of the day, he goes back to the society and he becomes a de-radicalized, that is open and closed, person. But that does not take the ideology away from the man. The man can still go back to the forest and radicalize himself again. So for me, it's still going to be government. It's going to be, business as usual. By codifying laws, by making a pronouncement that banditry and kidnapping, we now see them as terrorists and terrorism. These are just mere sanctimonies and sanctimonious platitudes. The execution is where the problem is with Nigeria. That is what is be going on. For instance, we didn't need, the government to announce that kidnapping and banditry or bandits will not be regarded as terrorists. For the government to prosecute those people that were arrested, who were financiers of terrorism and banditry and kidnapping in Nigeria. They have not been prosecuted, even though we have laws that were there and they were guiding how to prosecute. I have not seen them be prosecuted. Even some of the bandits that were arrested, some of them, they rot away in detention, awaiting trial. None has been prosecuted and dealt with punitively. Even the one that was taken to court with levity was given 20 years or 10 years imprisonment, as the case may be. So I don't even see any difference from making this pronouncement and the execution of the law on terrorism. That will be a deterrent. That will be a deterrent to those who want to engage, in kidnapping or banditry or even terrorism, as the case may be, because there must be a deterrence. For a law of that nature, you must show the people that you are serious in the execution of that law. That if you are caught and found guilty, you will be executed, or you'll be hanged. It will be death by hanging, and the government should set up a particular court, because it has become, something that is worrisome in the society. Issues of terrorism, kidnapping, banditry should not be matters that the regular court should take. That the procedures and prosecution should not take place for the regular courts. There should be a special court. At least we used to have special offences tribunal. The government should set up a special offences tribunal that once a kidnapper or a bandit or a terrorist is arrested, he goes to that particular court, and within 2 months or even the maximum 3 months, judgment is given. Either is released or is sentenced and convicted, and the maximum punishment is meted on that person. So these are the things we want the government to do. and for them to take it very seriously. That issues of, if you say that terrorism, you said banditry, kidnapping has now been classified as terrorist acts. What now stop you from now, formulating or creating special courts to expeditiously deal with these matters? And, those who are perpetrators are dealt with decisively and timelessly. These are the things that they should be doing that will make us feel that, it's not going to be good a business as usual. If all these things are not put in place, for me, it's going to be business as usual. It's just a mere pronouncement.
Okay.
A mere pronouncement, what I call sanctimonious platitudes, just to placate us and the world to say, they are fighting terrorism, they are fighting banditry and kidnapping. That is not the kind of fight I want to see. I want to see the kind of fight that a man that is, accused of being a kidnapper, he's tried within 2 months. He's either jailed or executed, as the case may be, within 2 months, as the case may be.
Okay, now Barrister Adams, from what you said now, this looks like mere public posturing and probably a response, to the next-gen relationship between the United States and Nigeria, trying to thaw the relationship, that is almost going down the drain. And I'd like to ask you, why do you think that the former government and the present government have been very, very careful in not, trying to fight this terrorism headlong? What do you think is responsible for that? Could you hazard a guess? We saw the former president, Muhammad Buhari, may God bless his soul, when he came into, in fact, even before he came into office, there was this politicization of insecurity, the famous statement, yeah, people are killing my people, and any attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North. Why do you think it's been very difficult for that administration and this administration, to fight terrorism headlong, despite the fact that the North bears the brunt of terrorism? Of course, we see these things coming down south, but majorly, basically, the North has borne, the brunt of it in the past 15, 20 years. Why has it been difficult for them to fight it?
You see, if I will ask a rhetorical question, and that rhetorical question is that why is it that banditry, kidnapping, terrorism all emanate from the northern part of Nigeria? If you look at majority of those who are harassing the entire nation called Nigeria in the forest and bushes around, they are from the Fulani ethnic stock. There's no need for us to hide it. If you arrest any bandit today, or any terrorist today, or any kidnapper today, if you are likely to find that out of 10 of them, about 10 of them, they are all from a particular ethnic stock. So why is it that it is only from the northern part of Nigeria that they import this kind of, dangerous, issues of crime to the rest of us in the southern part of Nigeria? It's the same thing. So the reason is because of the fact that Buhari could not fight this terrorism. He could not fight insecurity. The same thing that Tinubu is doing because of the fact that the cabals in the north are aware. The question I've asked is that why is it the Sultan of Sokoto, the Emir of Kano and Gwandu? These are powerful emirs in the northern part of Nigeria. They have not come out to stand their foot and say, look, enough of this banditry and terrorism in Nigeria. This is giving the Islam and the northern part of Nigeria a bad name. We say no to it. If they take the fight from the local level and collaborate, with the federal government, you find that these particular issues and tendencies will be reduced. But rather, they are supporting it. High-profile Fulani men from the north are supporting terrorists. Sheikh Gumi is one of them. The other man again, Baba Ahmed, or whatever they call the other young man, came up again and they should not go after them. So these are high-profile individuals who are supporting these people to do evil, as the case may be, because they come from their part of the country.
Barrister Adams, that's the problem. We have a president from the south who people believe, Nigerians feel that he's not doing enough to fight insecurity. So what has it got to do with the north this time? Is it political? Is it tied to 2027, 2031, or what? What do you think? What do you see?
Political. It is political. This is what happens. There's a prescriptive, a template, an agenda, by northern Nigeria to foist on the rest of Nigeria whenever you have a Southern president. Chibok girls removed Jonathan from office. If you are aware, about a year or two to election, just like we're having right now in Nigeria, in Tinubu administration, that was when Jonathan had the fiercest, from terrorist banditry and, kidnapping. I remember that a year by this time, during Jonathan, administration, the headquarters of the Nigeria Police Force was bombed. The United Nations office in Abuja was bombed. This Day newspaper office was bombed. Mina, during the time of you look at what's it called, Mina bombing on Christmas Day. You saw where Kabiru Sokoto and the rest of them led people to go and bomb those places during Christmas around this time. You understand? And that was the excuse that we Satanists bought into, and we began to vilify Jonathan. And before you knew what was happening, at the time the election was coming up, Buhari even came out to say that if anything is done, the
Saying from Voice of the People TV, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we love you.
You've been wonderful all through the year. And this is from us, Voice of the People Television, saying Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you all. See you at the top.
This is African News on Voice of the People.
And sincere apologies for that network glitch. Barrister Adams, good to have you back. Now let's get into our last topic of discussion. Unfortunately, this is how far we can go. Now, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and President Bola Tinubu is satisfied with Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara's responsible leadership, describing Rivers as one of Nigeria's most peaceful states. Speaking during a presidential delegation visit to Port Harcourt, Ribadu said the peace in the state reflects strong collaboration between the federal and state governments, particularly in advancing dialogue and stability in Ogoni land, which he described as a turning point for Nigeria. The delegation highlighted ongoing federal projects, including the East-West Road, planned dualization of the Bonny-Bodo Road, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway redesign to pass through Ogoni land, and progress on the Ogoni cleanup. Fubara reaffirmed support for Tinubu's Niger Delta agenda, crediting the president's boldness in addressing decades-old Ogoni issues, noting gains in infrastructure, environmental remediation, and employment, including the hiring of Ogoni indigents by NNPC. Barrister Adams, what's going on here? What do you smell? The president has said, look, I'm impressed with your leadership a few months after reinstating Sim Fubara as the governor of Rivers State. And in all of this, the federal government had a delegation go to Rivers State. It was led by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu in the company of Dave Umahi and other people. And the FCT minister, Rivers Indigene, you know, the power broker in Rivers State was left out. What do you see? What do you smell? Hello, Barrister Adams, can you hear me? Barrister Adams, can you hear me, sir? Hello, Barrister Adams, can you hear me? Hello, Barrister Adams, can you hear me, sir? Okay, the technical glitch has continued. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll just round off with the show. Please do join us again.
Uyi Osarati is my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I'll be like, well, this TV station will go places. Voice of the People TV.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your #1 celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations, shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to view PTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching BOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpehon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand.
All right, welcome back. But unfortunately, that's how far we can go. We were unable to get reconnection with Barrister Adams, so we have to draw the curtain on this conversation. We've been speaking with Barrister Asim Adams, a constitutional lawyer and a political affairs commentator. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, Olusegun George, the bus engineer, the ingest manager, and the sound engineer, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Nena and Ndemduto. Do join us again on top of the hour of 7 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning on the morning show. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of your evening.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Voice of the people, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikena Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the